Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your mid-February Valentine's Day reading, you could call it, but really, it's a little bit of a surprise. I just did this with Sagittarius. This is your 2022 Year of the Tiger reading. So from now until next February. All right, I've got some juice here. I suggest you grab something to drink. Aquarius season is extremely drying. It's just that time of year. And it's the quality of fixed air as well. If we're not careful, this can be a time of staleness. So, first up, I will speak to you about this Year of the Tiger and what it means for you, and also what the astrology for this coming year says. Now, one of the things that's really important and really defines your year, you don't start to feel the effects of it until July, but you're building towards it. And what that is this new identity. It's a new version of you that knows exactly what they believe because they've been tested. Throughout this year, you will find yourself put in situations where you have to put your money where your mouth is. What you believe is tested by your actions and by the risks you're willing to take for what you believe. In other words, it is a year that has everything to do with integrity. Now, one of the ways this is very beneficial for you is that as you work on your integrity, your connections deepen. You nurture these connections. And as you do this, your career grows. Now, wherever in your life there has been pain or betrayal, and this could be you with yourself, or some very deep pain or sense of loss that you've been carrying, you find a way to nurture the existing connections and to begin building again in an optimistic way. Despite the pain, despite the loss, I think we finally stop waiting for the pain to subside or for the loss to correct itself. We've realized with time that whatever it is, it's not coming back. And perhaps for some of you, for the first time in your life, you're not getting what you want. And even the prospect, after a long, stubborn term of holding out, even the prospect isn't there. This thing, whatever it was supposed to be, whatever you thought it was going to be, it just didn't work out. And despite that, you're able to make a name for yourself and you're able to grow in a very positive, again, optimistic way. Over the course of the year, that which you were weakened by, whatever aspect of you was rigid, wherever your beliefs were based more on a stubbornness than on logic. The parts of you that made you confused and weak, they get cleared up. One of the most important ways in which the Seven of Cups has been running your life, well, it's the thing that I actually want to talk to you about. It has to do with belief, and it has to do with redefining yourself, and it has to do with freedom, but maybe not in the way that you think. Now, let me preface this by saying that if you are either a 12th house sun or a Gemini rising, this is especially applicable to you. Uranus and the North Node are in Taurus, right behind you. And we can talk about this on a surface level, what you believe, who you believe, the redefining of you, putting your money where your mouth is, aiding this rebirth, really risking it all, including what seems to be the biggest risk for you, which is finding a way to move past the loss, the thing that you couldn't turn into a win. And while that's wonderful and it seems like a lot to have on your plate, the thing that concerns me most is this Chariot card. There is an element to the Chariot card of needing to reconcile the good and the bad, the black and the white of the thing, and to find a way through reconciliation to move forward. There is also a sense with the Chariot card that one must be in control of one's own destiny and one must make things happen. Some action or step needs to be taken, preferably after some middle ground is reached between what you want and what you need, and in this case, for this year, what others think of you and what you know about yourself, and how you want to present yourself in the future. But even that isn't what I want to talk to you about. The flip that you are able to implement in this year is epic. And what is that flip? Well, if you've been thinking for the past few years, where's my mojo? What happened? I used to have this Midas touch. Now I just don't seem to have it anymore. I can't seem to string a few things together without something falling off. I've had a bunch of false starts. It really has seemed like my luck just dissipated and never came back. Now, I told you last month that we're starting to feel the resurgence of that luck. And I told you in the first part, that we really are, back in our bag. But now, as we talk about the year in front of us, now we really get to it. The Death card at the beginning and the Chariot at the end. This is where we focus. The flip that I'm talking about, the thing that you must remember and get back to if you want your mojo back completely, if you want the magic back in your hands, that charm, that luck, that, that effortless success, especially in romance, and in this year, inshallah, especially in your career. That magic has everything to do with flipping the script on the matrix around you. See, what I'm going to say is going to sound really, really simple, but I just want you to focus on it for a second and come to terms with how profound it is. For most of your life, you knew that your energy and what you believe to be true is what affected the world around you. And because that's what you believed, that's how it worked. Got that? So, for most of your life, your experiences have been defined by that particular equation. I feel a way. I believe it. I believe it so blindly, and I work off of that belief to such an extent, with such a childlike wonder and innocence, that it becomes my reality. And that equation worked for a really long time, and it was awesome. But then there was that fall from grace, it felt like, where that equation just went right out the window and didn't make sense at all anymore. But here it is again. And here is a year filled with opportunities, chance encounters and meetings, huge, huge opportunities that slip casually into your life. Some of you reaching great heights of fame and success, God willing. And each of these opportunities is going to be one more little quiz on the road back to flipping that script. Hey, here's an opportunity. Do you believe enough to make this construct do what you want? Hey, here's another opportunity. Do you believe in yourself enough? And with every opportunity, you will be given a chance to flex these muscles again, to get used to once again being in charge of your own narrative and of being able to direct the construct. I'll tell you a funny story. About 8 years ago, when I was going through a really, really difficult time, I had the most odd vision. I had a vision of a very tall mirror sitting. It felt like I was sitting on the floor. It was like just like a flash of a vision of me sitting on the floor and looking into a very tall mirror. And I remember thinking, wow, I feel like I just saw some other version of myself. And I saw myself and I felt the energy coming off of that version of myself. And it was super calm and really like the way I was before this tragic thing happened. And I remember thinking to myself, I need to get there. That version of me seems to remember what I'm quickly forgetting right now. It was as if as my heart was breaking, this belief that I had was slipping away in myself. But in that momentary glimpse, I saw a version of me who knew that. Even as I was forgetting it, I knew that she knew it. And then quite by chance, through a series of completely unrelated events, years and years and years later, I moved my furniture around, and then I moved it around again, and then I moved it around again, and then I had a friend come over who's an architect who said, no, actually, you've got to move it around again. And before I knew it, there was a very tall mirror in the middle of one of my rooms. And just yesterday, I was sitting on the floor, working, as I, like to sit on the floor. And I looked over, and there I was, writing out the summary for this reading. And I had one of those moments that Buddha promises us, where for just a second we can pull back and see the design of the thing, and we just throw our heads back and laugh. The utter amusement and joy that I felt, there I was. There I was. There was me. The me that I saw, the me that I sensed. Remember what I was forgetting. And here we are, remembering. Now see, I see that 3 of Swords, and I see that 7 of Swords too. I know that that remembering means that you think you gotta walk through that tunnel of swords again, but you don't. You don't. There's an easy out. There is no reason to go through all that pain just to remember who you are and how strong you are. You don't ever have to go back there. If anything, you're going to jump right over it. And how are you going to do that? You are going to throw yourself into your work. The most important aspect of your work at this time being the people around you. Your character, your manners, your ability to remember, to be gracious, to send thank you notes and emails, to be on point with your follow-up calls, to smile, to network, to be useful as you use. And what you will find by August, inshallah, is a 9 of Cups bliss that I don't think you've let yourself believe could be possible for you again. But this is a year of great learning and knowledge. And I can't imagine who would have a better time with that than us. Of course, it's going to require a bit of self-starting and moving away from this 4 of Pentacles, who you think you are, who you perhaps in these years where the magic was gone, perhaps there's certain aspects of your personality that have become pretty rigid because the magic wasn't there to keep them loose, you know? That's gotta go. Gemini, if you hold on to that rigidity right now, we'll lose you. You'll get left so far behind. And I don't know when this train comes by again. It's time to go. Whatever it was, however bad it was, however much it confused you, however much it had you questioning who you were, it really is time to go. And we all really need to be on this train. The only reason you wouldn't get on this train is because somehow you still think that you can't be forgiven, and most of you, the thing that you think you can't be forgiven for is just that you were fucking human and that you made mistakes. And if your ego can convince you that you are so bad just for not being perfect, well, I can't think of a better reason to throw your ego away. This redemption, this being brought back into the fold of the universe, this immersion back into good luck and living a charmed life, this is not something you have to fight for. This is who you are. It was just a long way coming around back to it, but only so you could use it better, only so you would be more grateful, only so you would be more responsible, only so you would have a deeper appreciation. And so you could grow as a person. We walk out of 2022 a completely different person, someone realized, someone actualized. When it comes to this greater cosmic race of self-actualization, we're running right up front. So whatever obstacles you think you faced, whatever holdups you think have hampered you or handicapped you, they haven't. You're still way far ahead, way far out. Far out enough to, change some of these tires out. Let's mix as many metaphors as possible. Why not? Why not? The point is, once you get back in control, once you can feel it in your bones, you can feel the construct beginning to respond to you again instead of the other way around. You stop being reactive. You start to become that powerhouse of energy and belief again like you used to be. Don't get scared. Don't let anybody rattle you. Don't let the bullshit and the lies that anybody has to tell you get in the way. This is serious monk time. You are getting back in the driver's seat. You can bend the spoon. You've got to remember that there is no spoon. That's your entire job in 2022. And nobody is better at this sort of mystical harnessing of power than you are, because your ability to believe is so great. Your capacity for faith is huge. And therein lies the real power and the real secret of manifestation. You have it. You just forgot. That's okay. Here we are. We're back. Happy New Year. I love you, love you.